The concept of audit and other assurance engagements. We will start by considering what assurance is and why it is needed, so the purpose that it serves. We will then look at the different elements that make up an assurance engagement and look to identify what those would be with some different examples of assurance engagements themselves. We'll consider the different levels of assurance that can be provided for the different types of engagements, and then we'll start to focus on one of the key assurance engagements for this paper, which is the external audit. An introduction to assurance. We have some key definitions and terminology that we must be familiar with. Here is the definition of an assurance engagement from the IAASB, the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. They tell us that an assurance engagement is an engagement in which a practitioner expresses a conclusion designed to enhance the degree of confidence of the intended users other than the responsible party about the outcome of the evaluation or measurement of a subject matter against criteria. There's a lot of terminology in there, and we'll be looking at what those mean when we look at the elements of an assurance engagement. The thing I want you to take away from this at this point is that an assurance engagement is about providing confidence or enhancing the level of confidence in something specific. When we're looking at confidence levels, if you want to make a decision, you are going to need some information, and users of the information are wanting to ensure that they can trust it, that they have confidence in that information. Otherwise, they may be making the wrong decision if the information they have is unreliable or inaccurate, for example. With an assurance engagement, what we do is we have different parties, different people, if you want to imagine them that way, who are going to support each other to get more confidence. There was talk of a practitioner, there was talk of intended users, and a responsible party. You can think of those as being three different people. And the idea is one person is going to get an external other person to come and give them some assurance, to give them some confidence, so that they can trust what they have from that third party. In short, the objective of an assurance engagement is therefore to enhance confidence. Let's have a look at this with an example. You decide you want to buy a house. The person who's selling the house assures you that everything is absolutely fine. It is all in good order. Would that be enough for you to just go through with the transaction? Well, probably not. We are looking to buy, they are looking to sell. We are on opposite sides of a transaction, and we have different interests. We are acting in our interest. The seller, however, is going to be acting in their best interest. They're looking to sell the house. Of course, they're going to tell us everything is okay. We would hope that they would be honest and truthful, but ultimately what they want, their desired outcome, is to sell their house. So we would probably want to go and find someone else to help us be more confident. So thinking about this house example, we may look to find a surveyor, for example, who would be able to confirm that yes, the house is structurally sound, it's not about to fall down, the foundations aren't crumbling, so that when the seller tells us it's okay, this external party comes and tells us, yeah, we agree, based on the information that we have, the house seems okay. You may speak to a lawyer. You might want to confirm it's actually their house and they are legally allowed to sell it, that they don't have any problems or impediments that may stop them from being able to sell the house to you at this time before you start handing over your money. So you are looking to obtain confidence in this house before you are willing to hand over your money. So you are looking for assurance. Engaging with or getting the services of your surveyor, of your lawyer, would be examples of assurance engagements, because they will be able to give you increased levels of assurance or confidence to go through with this transaction. When we're thinking about assurance engagements, it's not typically about buying a house, however. We are going to be looking at companies. And with our companies or limited companies, PLCs, however you wish to think of them, there are a number of definitions that we want to know. And these are going to be used to refer to the relationships as we continue. First definition for us to see here is agency. So an agent acts on behalf of a principal to make decisions or to take actions on their behalf. Thinking about a company, the directors are given the power and ability to make decisions and take actions to run the company, but they are acting on behalf of the owners of the company. They are acting on behalf of the shareholders. So our directors, we would refer to sometimes as the agents, and the shareholders as the principals. With those directors, they will have a role of stewardship in relation to that company. So this is where one party is responsible for looking after something on behalf of another party. Our directors are stewards of the company. They are there to look after the company as a whole. And then we have this idea of accountability. Accountability is the obligation to answer for the execution of responsibilities. The directors of a company are accountable to the shareholders for the actions they take on behalf of the company and its shareholders. So we've said the directors are given the power to make decisions. They are asked to look after the company and its assets, but they will be held accountable for the actions that they take. When we're thinking about that whole situation, how does it link in with assurance? Well, the company directors are acting as agents for the shareholders, making those decisions for them, and then they are stewards of the company itself, looking after the company and its assets. We would expect and hope that they will act in the best interests of the company as a whole. However, we want to make sure this does happen, and so they must be held accountable for what it is that they are doing. What happens is the directors will report back to the shareholders on what they have been doing, the actions they have taken, the performance of the company over a period. The directors, however, are the ones who are writing that report. Imagine if you were writing your own school report, you would want to probably or possibly focus on the things that you are better at rather than the things that had not gone so well. In this situation, we have the company directors writing and preparing the financial statements which report on their performance, and they issue those to the shareholders. The shareholders then want to know, can they trust that information? Have the directors definitely acted in the best interests of the company and of the shareholders as a whole? Well, what they will do is they will go to a practitioner, an expert, an external party to come and look at those financial statements and almost check them to give added confidence, that trust, that assurance over their contents. So an external audit is undertaken to assure the shareholders that the financial statements give a true and fair presentation of the activities of the directors, that they are accurately and appropriately presenting what has happened.